Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Toothless is here too, huh, kitty? Yeah. He's freaking out today, but he's got food and water, so he don't have a reason to be freaking out. Yeah, you fed, you got water right there, it's right there. See? It's right there. Jeez, a cat. Okay. Today we are reading His Reasons. It's a Todoroki X-Reader fanfic by AshleyH713. I am going to do Season 3, Chapter 10 right now, and that will probably be, I don't know. I might record another one after it, but having to post 2 videos in a day is a hassle because apparently my internet doesn't like to load videos. It's super annoying. But I'm gonna probably still record 2 anyway. Yeah, because I like having extra videos for the days that I just don't feel like recording. That way they'll post. This one will be posted the 10th, chapter 10, on the 10th. Okay. Am I the only one that thought that was funny? Probably. Yeah, not even the cat thinks it's funny. But I mean, he doesn't think anything's funny, so. Because he's mean. Yeah, you're mean. But I love you. We call him our bad luck, even though he's actually, well, he's our good luck, and everyone else is bad luck, because he's black cat, and all of my friends are superstitious. Superstitious? I don't think that's the way to pronounce that, but yeah. And, black cats are said to bring bad luck, so no one comes near my house anymore. No, I have a couple friends that will still come to my house. One of them is allergic to cats, though, so we'll avoid being at my house. Yeah. Before I get off too off topic, never mind, I'm tired. Let's begin! Staring back at Katsuki were eyes he knew oh so well, eyes that followed him throughout his entire life, never really knowing just what she was suffering from for so long. Time and time again, Bakugo ignored her, turned away from her because he never wanted to face the mistakes he had made in the past, although it turns out he really didn't know anything at all. Now that gaze he had come to love was clouded and distant, like she was some kind of living doll, just waiting to be played with. Bakugo couldn't help but stare in utter horror and fear at her appearance. His sister was standing before him, but for some reason it was like she was already dead. Feeling his voice choke on his words, he called out to her again, hoping that she would answer back normally. "Amari? What?" He couldn't even finish the sentence. "What did they do to you?" A smooth laughter broke him out of his thoughts, now hearing All For One speak as he ran a couple fingers through her hair slowly. "Wonderful, isn't she? What the girl would have done for her brother. I have to thank you. If it wasn't for you, she wouldn't have been as successful." His words created a sharp chill in the boy's spine. She agreed to be tortured and experimented on because of him? Because he was too scared to show her he loved her? No, that couldn't be. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. You don't know anything. Yet All For One only smiled back, knowing his words were getting under the boy's skin. Somewhere, deep down, you know it's true. You had a hand in creating her, as did I. Bakugo couldn't help but remain speechless at this, knowing very well that he was right. This was all his fault. He had pushed her away without knowing the consequences. All this time he was killing her, just like in his nightmares. All Might stepped in front of the boy then, knowing that he was on the verge of breaking down. "Young Bakugo, it's all right. We'll save you. I promise." The villain narrowed his eyes then, looking down in amusement. "Sorry, hero. This isn't someone you can fix. And besides, she doesn't want to be saved. You saw her willingly pick up those pills. I never forced her to do anything." Katsuki balled his fists then, shouting back in anger. "Because you never told her what she was really doing, asshole." Shrugging his shoulders at that, All For One replied plainly, "Perhaps, but her desperation to be strong was so easy to use. This poor little one, sick and useless. She would have done anything, I said, just to be a hero. It's comical. Yeah, that word. Really." Shaking his head in anxiety, Katsuki felt the heat rise in his chest, his explosions itching to be used. It didn't matter if he was a terrible brother, or if it caused all this. Bakugo needed to save his sister. "You have one chance to let her go before I make you." All For One took one look at his desperation and smirked, watching All Might holding him back carefully. Young Bakugo, you mustn't. Although the villain seemed interested in the declaration, placing both of his hands on Amari's shoulder. No, let the boy struggle. It's time to test our masterpiece anyways. And what better way to do that than with the boy she admires more than anything? Bakugo widened his eyes in confusion as All for One leaned in closer to his sister, whispering out low and smooth, "Kill him." Before he could even register it, Amari was racing towards him, intent in her stance as she lifted up her hands and threw a spike of gold matter towards Katsuki. The flash of light ran past the boy, cutting his cheek in a single line of warning, blood now leaking from the gash. Did she just hurt him? No, this wasn't Amari. She could never physically hurt him. Even in the training, he always called her a wimp for it. He lifted a finger up to his cheek before Amari's fist raised down towards his head, causing Bakugo to let off an explosion to counteract her quirk. Damn brat, stop it! Although his words had no effect on her, throwing a large explosion back, having the boy jump back a few feet. This wasn't good. He needed to stop this. Snap out of it, you idiot! Come back! Are you really going to let that damn bastard control you like this? Fight it! Pushing his body back a couple inches, Amari still remained emotionless, putting her hands on her brother before another burst of gold cut into his leg, causing the boy to grunt in pain. Bakugo shoved her back easily, though, given her small size, before grabbing her body and slamming her onto the ground like they would do in training. Amari, I swear. She immediately began to struggle, though, making no indication that she was hurt, even though Katsuki slammed her down relatively hard. Another gold spike cut his forearm, then causing his grip to loosen as Amari kicked his stomach, pushing her hand into his face roughly. Then, before he could process it, she let an explosion off right next to his face, causing the boy to back away at the sudden ringing in his ear. She really was trying to kill him. Katsuki blinked again, trying to regain his sight when he felt his head turn to the side, sharp pain erupting in his jaw. Had she just hit him? Although that wasn't the last time he felt another hit, causing the boy to put a hand up in desperation, a desperate attempt to block her attack. But with no sight of her or the ring in his ear, the boy soon found himself on the ground, being pounded left and right by her fists. Clapping her hands away, Bakugo could taste blood, knowing that she was kicking his ass. How embarrassing. Since when did that brat have this kind of power? Amari, stop it already! Although he couldn't see it, Katsuki knew he had to get out of this position, so he instead blindly aimed his palms upward before letting off an explosion, tossing the girl to the side and hitting the ground in a heavy thud. Coughing, Bakugo slowly stood up, feeling his legs burn from the strain of his quirk. He really hoped he hadn't hurt her, now seeing his sister a couple feet away, coughing as well. He saw her struggling to stand up as Katsuki called out to her again, this time with a little more desperation in his voice. Are you really so weak that you would let that asshat tell you what to do? My sister is stronger than that. You are stronger than this, Amari. You said you'd never give up, right? Then start being a Bakugo and fight it! Suddenly, Katsuki felt a sharp pain in his chest, seeing a flash of light pass through him as the boy fell down to his knees in utter shock and confusion. She just stabbed him with her quirk. A small drop of blood leaked from his mouth as Amari slowly walked over to him, intent in her step and no remorse on her face. If this kept up, she really would kill him. Heaving out a breath, Bakugo ignored the burning pain in his body and the red liquid across his chest, now watching his sister move even closer to him with her hand raised, fully ready to tear him apart slowly. He reached a hand out, coughing a couple times before realizing that this may be it. What? No. Where was I? Amari, his sister, was going to kill him. Wasn't it just... This kind of seemed like his punishment for letting her suffer, for having her believe that she was alone. If just this once, Bakugo realized he wanted to tell her. Speaking lowly, Katsuki pleaded for the first time in his life. Amari, stop this. I'm sorry, okay? I won't call you a brat anymore. I won't call you useless. Just come back, please. I need you. I need my sister. Amari lifted her hand out, unaffected by his words, and saw her palm light up in a hot, fiery glow. This was it. This was his punishment. Suddenly, a bright flash entered the space. When it finally cleared, Bakugo couldn't help but widen his eyes, now seeing Todoroki standing between the two. Amari, that's enough. I know you don't want to do this. The girl stood still for a moment, not sure how to process the new presence, as Todoroki called out to her, soft and loving. Please, stop this. You are not a villain. Come back to me. I don't want to have to do this, Amari. I love you. Hearing All for One chuckle behind them, the villain coaxed. Oh, and who is this, little one? Do me a favor and kill him too. The words processed in her ears for a moment before lifting up her hand and throwing an explosion at the boy that loved her. Todoroki counteracted it with his eyes. Just then, a blind white light covered the group, causing them to look up and see some kind of film crew recording the entire fight. That wasn't good. Katsuki watched the fight in concern as a hand touched his shoulder, slapping it away only to hear a very familiar voice. Kachan, are you okay? Can you hear me? Oh god, look at you. We have to get you to a hospital. Refocusing his eyes, Bakugo found his childhood friend staring at him worriedly. Deku? What the hell are you doing here? Deku couldn't help but smile softly at that, placing a hand to his shoulder once again. We are saving you. Although Bakugo didn't seem to like that, he was already struggling to stand. Screw you, I don't need your help. Where's that brat? I need to save her. Turning sad, Deku then turned his head towards his left, where Amari and Todoroki were fighting each other aggressively. Throwing a sheet of ice in her direction, Amari dodged the attack, throwing her hands up as a sharp gold spike flew across his right arm. The boy seethed at the sensation. She growled a bit at the boy before he stomped on the ground and froze her foot so she was stuck to the floor. I don't want to hurt you. Snap out of it. Please. Fighting back, Amari's feet began to glow before the ice shattered and broke underneath her, causing the girl to race towards him again. This wasn't good. She wasn't going to stop until the orders were complete. Todoroki knew he didn't want that. He put his hands up to block her fist, shouting back to Deku and Shinso roughly. He was desperate and afraid, knowing this couldn't last forever. It's not working. She's too far gone. I don't know what to do. Todoroki's moment of weakness only lasted for a second, but it was enough for Amari to overpower him, slamming her hand into his chest and causing her gold matter to burn and scorch the area around it. The pain was so immediate that he couldn't help but grunt. Pulling his hand back because of the shock, Amari then let off an explosion only a couple inches from his chest, causing the boy to stumble backwards, now clutching the area and seething at the sting. If she knew what she was doing right now, he already knew she'd be heartbroken. Because of that, it was hard to focus on his own injuries. All for one seemed satisfied, though. She can't hear you, boy. It's useless to even try. Shinso watched the fight with hollow eyes, wishing he could do something for the girl that helped him so much in the past. All his quirk was good for was brainwashing. It didn't have any physical capabilities. Unless... He then watched Todoroki block another one of her hits before shouting back, Todoroki, get her to speak. Anything will do. Just get her to say something. Not fully understanding where he was going with this, Todoroki was willing to try anything for her, nodding his head in compliance before speaking towards her. Amari, if you can hear me, if you can recognize my voice, say something. I know you don't want to do this. I know you're fighting yourself right now. Please show me that you're in there. The girl froze for a moment, everyone thinking they were getting somewhere, when Amari only growled back, raising up her hand in another explosion. Dodging the attack, Todoroki tried again, a slight crack to his words. Amari, think about your brother. Think about your parents. Think about me, and everyone who cares about you. You can't let this thing beat you. You are stronger than this. I already know. That's one of the reasons why I love you. Todoroki then watched her stance remain the same as a thick and heavy tear leaked from her eyes. Her emotionless facade had changed, but it looked like she was trying to break, though, if only a little bit. Feeling a tiny ray of hope in his chest, the boy called back to her, reaching out a hand to her. Amari, come back to me. Beautiful, please don't cry. I'm right here, and I always will be. Shinso noticed the tiny crack in her mask as well, now racing forward and shouting towards the girl once. Hey, short stuff! Think about what you're doing right now. Do you really want to kill your precious brother or your boyfriend? Do you want to hurt him? Look inside yourself and find the answer. The tears fell onto her cheeks as Todoroki watched her lip quiver, like she was trying to say something. Just then her voice rang out, small and extremely fragile, like it took everything within her to say that one word. No. Suddenly Amari's body grew still as Shinso brainwashed her, suddenly feeling a rush of emotion and screaming enter his ears. It was so loud that he had to cover his ears in anguish. Deku noticed him and raced forward, now concerned. Shinso, what's wrong? Squeezing his eyes shut, Shinso hints back. Oh god, she's screaming. Her mind is pushing against my quirk. We don't have much time to bring her back. We have to do it now. Although, just as he said that, another wave of pain and emotion swept through him, finding it even harder to hold on to his mind control. She really was fighting him with everything she had. Hurry up! Todoroki eyed the boy with concern before listening to his command and running up to Amari, placing a loving hand to her cheek. Amari, it's me. I'm right here. Come back now, please. I need you next to me. Her face felt cold and clammy, almost like a dead body. Because of that, Todoroki felt his voice crack slightly, tears threatening to fall now. I can't do this without you. I realize I'm not strong enough for that yet. Please, don't leave me again. Suddenly, Amari's hand twitched, thinking that maybe this was a good sign, although it slowly dissipated when they heard Shinso let out a muffled scream. It's no use. I can't hold it. I'm not strong enough. She's going to break out. Widening his eyes in terror, Todoroki knew he had to come up with something quick, now turning to Bakugo silently. Soon Amari would break out of the mind control and try to kill them again. It was only a matter of time. That's when Bakugo did something surprising. In one motion, Todoroki watched as he raced up to his sister before wrapping his arms on top of Todoroki's, now hugging her from the opposite side. I'm not good at this kind of thing, but if it can bring you back, I'll do anything, so don't you dare even think about leaving me. I know I fucked up. I know I'm a goddamn idiot. Hold on. I know I'm a goddamn idiot most of the time, but regardless, you're still my sister, and I love you, you idiot. Even Todoroki was surprised at her brother's declaration. He would have never thought Bakugo would have ever said those words, especially to her. He always thought the boy was too prideful for that. Following in suit, Todoroki then leaned into her ear before squeezing her just how Bakugo had just done. Ow, ow, ow. Do you hear that? That's your brother being proud of you and loving you, just like how I always am. I'm right here. You're safe, so come back to me, beautiful. Shinso heard her screaming dissipate then, the boy now able to uncover his ears as he turned to Amari. Slowly, he saw the black veins on her neck begin to disappear as she blinked away the death in her eyes. Reaching her hand up, Amari shakily touched the boy's arm before brokenly whispering out, Shoto? Brother? Bakugo and Todoroki lifted their hands then, staring at the girl in utter shock, before Todoroki couldn't help but let out a choked sob, pressing her body to his chest for dear life. Oh, thank God, Amari, you're back. Narrowing her eyes in confusion, Amari pulled away from him before looking around, obviously not knowing what had happened. What? All for one seemed to notice that she had broke free as well, not liking the results. Oh, little one, you're disobeying me again. Listen to my orders. Kill them. Suddenly, Amari's head began to pound, feeling the orders wrap around and suffocate her, forcing her to comply, although she began to fight back this time. No, stop it. I don't want to. Her mind started to become fuzzy again as Todoroki could see the black veins crawling back slowly as she fought with the voice in her head. All of them were screaming at her, forcing her to comply with the dark desire. Do it. Kill them. Do it. Kill them. Shaking her head back, Amari screamed, feeling her entire body on fire. Shoto, I can't stop it. Please. I don't want to hurt you. You have to kill me. Todoroki's eyes widened at that, already denying her request and instead forcibly grabbing her arm to stop her from attacking. Never. I would rather let you kill me. Gritting her teeth in pain, Amari started to claw her way free, bringing her hand up and scratching Todoroki's face aggressively in a desperate attempt to escape. Then, looking back at the girl, he did the only thing he could think of. He kissed her. Pressing his lips onto hers, Todoroki felt the girl struggle underneath him, reaching her arms out to attack him, although he didn't move an inch, just pressing himself deeper into the girl. Amari closed her eyes at the contact before that suffocating and terrible voice disappeared into nothing, now only focusing on his touch, his heat, and his love. That's right, she knew this voice anywhere. This was Todoroki, the boy she loved. Letting her hands fall to the side, she then pulled away, seeing the black veins had completely disappeared once again. Whatever he had done had worked. She blinked back in a daze as All for One's voice rang out. You are losing my patience, little one. I said kill them. But this time Amari felt nothing, causing the man to frown. I see you used all your energy already. What a shame. I suppose we'll have to work on that. As he spoke, the girl suddenly lost all feeling in her legs, tumbling to the ground only for Todoroki to catch her. Amari, are you okay? Although she only nodded. Yeah, I just feel really dizzy. Just then, All Might's voice echoed to their left, now watching him block a hit from the villain. They had almost forgotten that he was in his own fight as well. You must take young Bakugo and go, quickly. Nodding back, Todoroki scooped Amari up in his arms before running away, now hearing All for One's voice in the back of their head. Soon you'll realize, little one, you can never be strong without me. I gave you the power to become what you always wanted to be. Without that, you are nothing. Remember that. Todoroki only glared, though, as he carried Amari away from the scene, although the girl couldn't help but take in those words, processing them slowly. Reaching a small back alleyway, the group stopped to check on Amari, who was slowly growing weaker by the moment. What? No. Toothless? Toothless. Stop. Stop. It was like whatever All for One gave her was draining her, one step at a time. Bakugo eyed his sister in fear before doing the only thing he knew best, yelling at her. You idiot! I have so many things to say to you right now. It's not even funny. Mari felt another wave of exhaustion wash over her. She replied back, I'm sorry, Katsuki. Look, I messed up again. Her words made him immediately regret his choice, though, huffing back. Damn right. I don't know why I'm always chasing after your ass when all I do is get into trouble. Mari looked down at this before glaring at Todoroki and gasping. Wait, Shoto, you're hurt. Lightly touching the claw marks on his face, her eyes turned into one of confusion. What happened to you? Then she noticed the red, dried blood on Katsuki's clothes and leaned forward, now extremely concerned. Katsuki? Oh my god, you're bleeding too. Did someone do this? Shinso and Deku's eyes widened at that, taking in her question, like she didn't know. Deku called out to her first. Amari, do you remember what happened? Thinking for a moment, a sharp flash of pain knocked against her skull, putting a hand to her head in confusion. Not really, no. I remember that asshole injecting me with some kind of needle, and then everything is kind of a blur. Why? Everyone looked between each other then, silently deciding it was better for her to not know everything that happened right now. It would most likely destroy her. Even Bakugo decided against it. Don't worry about that right now. Just be quiet and rest already. Suddenly the group heard a muffled voice to their right. It seemed like a bunch of people were gathering for something. Being curious, the group moved towards the crowd when they heard a TV reporter's voice echo through a large screen. Tonight we are live to report an attack involving a symbol of peace, All Might, and a well-known villain. We are live at the scene where we just witnessed an ambush between a new unknown female villain and a couple mysterious students. Widening their eyes in fear, Todoroki tried to turn Amari away, although it was too late, the girl forcing him to drop her onto her shaky feet. Wait. Calling back to her, he replied, Come on, we really should get you to the hospital. Yet Amari didn't listen, now feeling a sense of dread in her stomach and following the voice on the TV to get a better look. Hearing her bare feet touch the sidewalk, Amari looked up to the screen, only for her heart to drop in her chest. They were showing footage from the fight. She turned her head in confusion, watching someone that looked like herself beat and hurt the one she loved, pounding on Bakugo, scratching Todoroki, and mentally torturing Shinso. What was even happening? That wasn't her, right? No. I don't remember that. What? Suddenly her head began to pound as every terrible and horrible thing she did flashed in her mind, recalling everything that she had destroyed. She was responsible for their scars. She hurt them. No. Oh God, no. Amari then felt a hand on her shoulder, pushing her into his chest slowly. It was Todoroki. Amari, calm down. I'm okay. Bakugo's okay. We're all okay. Feeling her hand shake, the girl breathed shallow. The girl's breathing shallowed, coming in and out far too fast for anyone to handle. She heard herself ramble, muttering out broken words all at once. What have I done? Oh God, what did I? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. The voice around her began to talk, replying low and scared. I hope the heroes put that villain down quickly. We don't need another menace to our society. Mari took in their words sharply before feeling herself grow dizzy. All she wanted to be was a hero, to help people, but it turned out that she was lying to herself. How could a hero hurt the people she held dear? How could a hero want to kill someone? Bakugo raced forward then, seeing his sister break down, not exactly knowing what to do. Hey, what's wrong with her? What the hell's happening? Todoroki's eyes turned brokenly to hers, trying to calm her down but failing miserably. The damage had already been done. Amari, can you hear me? Although his words had no effect, causing the girl to clutch her head, pulling the memories away. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't want to be a villain. I don't want to hurt people. Just then another wave of dizziness washed over her before the girl grew unconscious, crumbling into Todoroki's arms, the boy himself scared out of his mind. Amari? Although she made no movement, causing the boys to eye her sadly, now turning towards her brother, Shinso and Deku, with only one thought in their minds. What were they going to do now? God, that was sad. Check her out. Like her stuff. Ooh, she changed the picture. I think she changed a bit. I'm pretty sure she changed the picture. Yeah, check her out. She's got a writer. I like her stuff. Where did my mouse go? Oh, whoa, wait, hold on. That's awesome. My mouse, it's the one that, never mind. Okay. I'm getting too excited by a cool looking ad. Yeah, I think I'm gonna record one more, and I'm gonna try and get some sleep. Again, probably won't happen, but I might as well try. Yeah, you will hear me in the next video. Bye-bye.